It's evidence of the growing connection between Brazil and China, the B and the C of the BRICS Plus coalition. This is a group that hopes to rival the US-led G7.
The most important emerging economies in the world are the four BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
They're not just watching, they're preparing. Behind closed doors and across diplomatic tables, the BRICS alliance is laying the groundwork for its most ambitious move yet. With 34 countries signaling interest and 23 of them formally applying, the world's fastest-growing economic bloc is about to change again. And the next 10 countries on their radar could reshape everything from oil flows to global banking. The future of BRICS. Back in 2009, BRICS started off as a five-nation forum, a counterbalance to the Western-dominated G7. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa came together with a common goal: to create a new financial and geopolitical ecosystem. But what was once viewed as a symbolic group of emerging economies is now commanding global influence. After the historic 2024 expansion, which added Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia, BRICS transformed from a symbolic alliance into a 10-member powerhouse. This new lineup doesn't just represent different regions, it holds serious weight in global trade, energy production, and population. BRICS has also built out a network of 13 partner countries, adding another layer to its increasingly sophisticated structure. Now, as the bloc assesses its next steps, the conversation has shifted again from who BRICS is to who BRICS will be. A surge of interest. This year, the alliance received formal applications from 23 nations, with another 11 expressing informal interest. From Latin America to Southeast Asia and the Middle East, countries are eyeing BRICS for what it represents: a future beyond the dollar, the IMF, and Western pressure. It's not just economic. They see BRICS as a ticket to real independence, real opportunity, and a financial system that works for their interests. The 10 names topping that short list aren't random. They're carefully chosen based on regional influence, economic potential, and what they can contribute to BRICS's long-term vision. Bahrain, Malaysia, Turkey, Vietnam, Belarus, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Kuwait, Thailand, and Uzbekistan are all being considered, and every single one brings something critical to the table: oil, gas, and Gulf power. Let's begin with Bahrain and Kuwait, two Gulf nations that have built their wealth on oil. Both play a strategic role in global energy markets, and their addition would give BRICS even greater sway over pricing, supply, and distribution. These aren't just oil-rich countries. They're also emerging players in the digital economy and finance. Their presence could extend BRICS's grip deeper into the Middle East, especially when paired with the bloc's recent inclusion of Iran and the UAE. Energy control has always been a powerful bargaining chip in geopolitics. If Bahrain and Kuwait are brought in, BRICS will have significantly more control over the global oil conversation, especially when more than half of the world's proven reserves are now represented inside or aligned with the group.
The group of emerging economies known as BRICS makes up more than 40% of the world's population and a quarter of the global economy. And more countries want to join the club, which aims to challenge a world order seen to be dominated by the US and its Western allies. But what exactly is BRICS? Who wants in? And why? Underscoring the growth potential of Brazil, Russia, India, and China, a chief economist at Goldman Sachs came up with the BRIC acronym in 2001. The group was founded as an informal club in 2009. Its
strategic latitude. Adding Mexico to the mix would be a game changer. Its economy, valued at over $1.5 trillion, is one of the strongest in Latin America. Currently tied closely to the United States through the USMCA trade agreement, Mexico's pivot to BRICS would send shockwaves through Western economic structures. It would also give the alliance a significant footprint in Latin American markets, a region long influenced by Washington. This shift wouldn't just be symbolic. It would offer real access to trade routes, ports, and a consumer market worth billions. The potential to recalibrate the region's political alignment is very real, and BRICS knows it. Eastern Europe's bridge. Then there's Belarus. Long seen as Moscow's closest ally in Europe, Belarus brings more than loyalty. It offers BRICS a direct entry into Eastern European logistics, infrastructure, and connectivity. It's also a crucial corridor between Asia and the European Union, and with rising tensions between NATO and Russia, its position becomes even more valuable. Belarus's inclusion would anchor BRICS's presence on the edge of the European market, creating a strategic point of leverage that's both political and commercial. It adds depth to the bloc's multi-regional structure and challenges the EU's dominance in a region that has, until now, remained firmly in the Western sphere. Asia rising. In Southeast Asia, 3 major contenders are under serious consideration: Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. These countries are already global manufacturing hubs, playing central roles in the production of electronics, vehicles, and consumer goods. Their economies are growing rapidly, and their political alignment is shifting as they seek more balanced partnerships in a post-dollar world. Vietnam's exports hit nearly $370 billion last year. Malaysia remains one of the top semiconductor manufacturers globally. Thailand is pushing billions into digital infrastructure and EV development. Their combined economic scale and strategic geography would give BRICS unprecedented leverage in Asia. Then there's Uzbekistan, a Central Asian nation rich in resources and poised to become a vital land bridge between China, Russia, and South Asia. With vast mineral reserves and a growing economy, it fits neatly into BRICS's vision of a connected Eurasian trade corridor. Sri Lanka's critical location. While Sri Lanka's economic troubles have been front-page news, its geography tells a different story. Located in the Indian Ocean along one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, it's a maritime gateway that both China and India are heavily invested in.
They are leaving their mark on the international system. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are preparing for their next summit.
Since we wrapped up the invasion of Ukraine, BRICS actually gained a second momentum.
Now there are calls for the group to grow.
We should start discussions around BRICS expansion.
But what exactly is BRICS and what does it want?
They take on a very big mission, which is to diversify the existing Western-led global financial system.
Lack of unity, lack of cohesion, mutual suspicion, all these things are very much there within BRICS.
The application of even more countries wanting to join signifies that there's something that the BRICS is doing right.
Its inclusion in BRICS could transform the island nation from a crisis case into a strategic asset. For the new development bank, which is aiming to disburse more loans in local currencies, Sri Lanka offers a prime opportunity, an economy in need of infrastructure financing, and a government looking for alternatives to Western lenders. The role of the new development bank. At the heart of this expansion is the BRICS financial engine, the New Development Bank. Created to provide a viable alternative to the World Bank and IMF, the NDB is now ramping up its lending programs and pushing a key initiative, issuing loans in local currencies. This strategy is central to BRICS's goal of de-dollarization. By offering financing without using the US dollar, the NDB empowers member nations to reduce their dependence on foreign reserves and bypass the SWIFT system. That's why these 10 countries are ideal. They all need infrastructure, energy, or digital investment, and the NDB is prepared to deliver. Currency moves and financial power. According to recent internal data, nearly 50% of all BRICS transactions are now being conducted in Chinese yuan. That's a significant milestone. And with more countries entering the fold, especially ones open to abandoning the dollar in their trade deals, that number is expected to climb sharply. There's also growing talk around the bloc's plans for a secret currency initiative, potentially a new digital unit for settlement within BRICS Plus. While official details remain scarce, insiders suggest this new financial architecture would allow BRICS countries to completely bypass Western systems. A secure, blockchain-based platform could be the final tool BRICS needs to move from concept to global competitor. Beyond the numbers. This isn't just about trade deals or GDP rankings, it's about shaping the future of global influence. Each of the 10 countries on BRICS's shortlist represents a strategic challenge to the existing world order. Together, they reflect a growing rejection of the old system, where development came with political strings, and sovereignty often meant subordination. These nations aren't joining BRICS just for prestige. They're joining because the structure works. They want access to funding that doesn't come with lectures. They want trade that isn't choked by sanctions. And they want a voice in shaping the next phase of globalization. Washington's quiet concern. The US and its allies haven't made a lot of noise publicly, but there's no mistaking the concern. Over the past year, American diplomats have ramped up behind-the-scenes efforts to sway potential BRICS candidates. That includes new military deals, security pacts, and offers of expanded trade ties. But for many of these nations, those offers are starting to feel like old solutions to new problems.
Indonesia has officially joined BRICS as a full member, according to the Brazilian government's announcement on Monday, marking a significant expansion for the influential bloc. The new addition brings the total number of BRICS members to 10, which now includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and Indonesia, alongside recent entrants such as Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. This enlargement reflects BRICS' growing influence among the emerging economies and its ambitions to reshape the global economic order.
Trump's new tariffs set the global stage on fire. Donald Trump's return to the White House didn't just shake up Washington, it sent ripple effects through every trade and finance ministry in the world. In his first major economic move since taking office in January 2025, Trump imposed sweeping new tariffs targeting a broad range of goods. These weren't symbolic. We're talking 50% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, 25% on semiconductors, 40% on steel and aluminum, and even 30% on certain pharmaceuticals coming from India and Brazil. The message was clear: America First is back, and it's bolder. The White House defended the move as a way to protect American jobs and industries from unfair practices. But global markets didn't see it that way. From Beijing to Brasilia, the reaction was fast and furious. India's finance ministry called it short-sighted and disruptive. China accused the US of weaponizing economic dependency. And South Africa's trade minister simply said, "We're done playing by old rules." It's not just the tariffs themselves that rattled BRICS nations. It's the escalation logic behind them. Unlike previous trade disputes that focused on deficits or subsidies, Trump's latest move feels more ideological. It's about reasserting control, reshaping the global supply chain on America's terms. And that has pushed many developing economies to rethink their future partners. Even countries like Mexico and Thailand, historically close to Washington, are now weighing the benefits of aligning with BRICS+, where trade terms are seen as more balanced and less punitive. The tariffs didn't just provoke a political response, they sped up a transition that was already underway away from US-centric trade systems and towards something more multipolar, less dollar-dependent, and much harder for Washington to dominate. What the US may have underestimated is how much Trump's aggressive stance is fueling the very expansion of BRICS it fears. Because when you push this hard, countries start looking for exits. And right now, BRICS is the door that's wide open.
Nice to see you. We've had a great weekend, and as you know, we made our deal with the European Union. The Japan deal is done. Many of the other deals are done. Indonesia was a very big deal, big country actually, and they're wonderful, and hopefully wonderful for both sides. But it's literally trillions of dollars ultimately being brought into our country, and it was something that had to be done, and it is being done, and it's being done properly. We're now negotiating with various other countries, and the rest we're just sending out the bill to. We send a bill, we send a letter saying that you'll pay a certain tariff.
The road ahead. If BRICS approves the induction of Bahrain, Malaysia, Turkey, Vietnam, Belarus, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Kuwait, Thailand, and Uzbekistan, it will become one of the most comprehensive international alliances on the planet. It will cover every major region: Asia, Europe, Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East, with a combined economic output that could eclipse the G7 in purchasing power parity. And for the rest of the world, the message is clear. You don't have to choose between submission and isolation. There's a new table being built, and BRICS is leading the construction. So, what do you think? Should countries like Mexico and Vietnam join a bloc like BRICS? Would it boost their economies or create new risks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more elite-level breakdowns on how the world is changing from the top down.